What is going on, you and it too? It's your boy Trucker Will, and we're trucking it like always, trying to make this money, trying to make this dough. In this video, we are going to talk about the mass exodus of drivers that have been going from flatbed to reefer and what they're running into. And we're going to talk to a former flatbed driver, now reefer driver, and we're going to see what he was experiencing and what not to do and what trap not to fall into. We're going to talk about it next on Trucking with Trucker Will. Alright, what's going on, Blacktop family? We got your boy. What do you call yourself on again?
I'll put it back to my original name, Dwayne.
Oh, okay. Well, we got
Flatbed no more. So
we got Dwayne here. He used to be called Flatbed Family. Now he's just Dwayne because he's on the reefer side. He's made transition. But we're gonna talk about why he made the change from flatbed to reefer and what were some of the things that he was seeing. And a bunch of his buddies have been calling him consistently every day about the stuff that they're catching while they're on here on the blacktop. So Dwayne, let us know like what you were experiencing, and then I can elaborate.
my biggest problem was the freight rates. Like whenever you're out here, you get the same money on the reefer side, but the big thing for me was you're out here, you're having to tarp these loads, and there's really no way of knowing how to do all this stuff. So you're pretty much lack of knowledge on how to do this stuff and lack of knowledge in a business. Thanks to Will, I figured out that I was screwing myself by instead of putting the money in my pocket, I was putting it in my fuel tank. That was my number one mistake, and I wasn't staying in good freight lanes. So not getting good paychecks makes it kind of hard to stay in the flatbed industry.
Okay, so basically you're saying that you came into Prime, you were told by your recruiter that you were gonna make all types of money.
Oh yeah.
And when the realization came through, and when the rubber started hitting the road, there were some things that were not explained 100% correct. Did you say that?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I was gonna go reefer from the jump because Prime is one of the largest reefer companies. So why not go with the flow and go with reefer? Well, my recruiter, oh no, you're gonna make so much more money on flatbed. You're an athletic guy, you like to be outdoors, you're not gonna like reefer. Well, I've been on Will's truck for about a week now, and I'll tell you what, the stress level is nothing. I mean, there's no stress out here. Go to your shipper, go to your receiver, send in your macros, so much easier. You ain't gotta be out there in 120 degree weather like it was in California, tarping, strapping, chaining, whatever you gotta do, and then try to go into some of these places where trucks are never supposed to go. And being a new driver, they send you in some places that a rookie driver should never, ever be, including going Amish country. Just saying.
All right, Dwayne. So you expressed, that stuff. So now I guess the question is, what do you feel your first 3 mistakes were coming over to Prime, being a greenhorn, not knowing nothing about running a business? What do you think your first 3 mistakes were?
My number one mistake was I should have went company before I went lease. Coming into this business, not knowing trucking, considering the money Prime takes out, which is like a little over $4,000 for all your equipment. I thought, well, if I'm company, I'm not going to be able to make that money back. So I went with the whole lease thing, which I wish I wouldn't have done, because not knowing the freight lanes, not knowing where stuff is, that was my number one mistake. Number 2 mistake, going flatbed in the first place and not going with what I wanted to go with, letting somebody talk me into going something different. And my 3rd mistake was pretty much, even trying it and even trying to run a business without the knowledge, because that's where I cost myself several $1,000s in extra fuel that I didn't need to be buying, which could have been in my family's pocket or my pocket for that matter, and I would have been a lot better off. but I didn't have the knowledge of a business, and I've got more of an understanding now than what I ever had in the beginning of it, or even coming into this industry, thanks to you, Will, showing me the ways that I made my mistakes. Now I can understand and fix that problem, or I don't have that problem no more.
All right, Dwayne. So you talked about your mistakes on a big scale. Your mistakes are what you made, but you have the opportunity to fix them. Now, can you say that I can say from what you told me that these mistakes weren't just on Dwayne, the driver? Some of these mistakes were made by your business associate or your business partner.
Yeah.
So how do you feel your business partner, aka your fleet manager, how did he let you down, and how did it make you feel as a driver to where you felt like this was unachievable?
The freight rates he kept giving me, like, really, absolute crap loads. 3 tarp system, which any flatbedder knows, 3 tarps suck. And whenever you got 2 stops and you're only getting $600 and you done spent 300 of it in fuel, and you got to completely take all 3 tarps off and all 3 of them back on. If you're going to have a fleet manager, your fleet manager should be able to work with you. And if you have no out of service failures, you're getting there on time and everything. I felt that, if I busted my butt, show this guy, I'm a runner, I don't mind working hard, that I'd get better freight rates. But instead, it was just the opposite. It started out, first load was okay, then it just seemed like it just started plateauing and going straight down. Once I told him no on 1 load, which made no sense, going to California for 4 stops as my first week out, after that, it just started progressing down and then just kept going worse. And I did try to have a conversation with him, and he told me that I don't need to worry about my money. That's his job, not mine. Where, as I explained to him, I do have to worry about my money all the time because I'm out here to support my wife and kids. I'm not out here to run around the country and just take a vacation. I'm out here to make money to support my family.
All right, Dwayne, so we've gotten where you screwed up, where you effed up, where you screwed the pooch. We got that. We understand that you made some mistakes. We understand that you didn't have a clear understanding of how trucking works. None of us really know how trucking works. We've only all been out here. We're all learning. That's what I'm talking about on my channel all the time. We're all out here to help each other get better and be better. So, moving forward, right? There's going to be thousands of drivers that are going to come after you. What would be your one key word of advice to them before they get in the seat, before they make a financial decision that can change their life for the better, not for the worse, for the better? What would you tell them to do first?
I tell them to go company first. Do it for at least 6 months to a year. Learn this business. This is not just a job out here, guys. This is a lifestyle. This is more than a 9-to-5 job, because there's no set hours of how long you're going to work. You get a 14-hour clock every day, and there's no guarantee on that. What's going to entail that day? Learn the business. Then if you feel that you can run your own business, then go lease. Don't come out here and just be like, I'm going to go lease, I'm going to be rich and famous. It don't work that way.
So coming over here, going lease, you wouldn't recommend it only because you're new to the business. How much did it cost you to get your equipment to go flatbed right off the gate?
A little over $4,400.
So $4,400 was the initial investment. Did you have to put any money down for that?
No.
So you didn't have to put no money down for it. So you got Prime invested in you, gave you a $4,400 loan, no interest, for you to start your career, but it wasn't successful. And now what are the consequences of that said decision when you didn't really know the business so far?
It cost me a lot of money. Like right now, I'm in debt to Prime for, I think I looked at it yesterday, I'm about $1,600 in debt because I had to sell all my equipment back. Even though it cost me over $4,000, they only gave me roughly $2,000 on it.
So
and
you don't get your full money's worth. It's used, but they, I get it. Okay.
And then if your lease, you go turn that truck in, well, there goes more money because now you got to pay for detail. You got to pay for all these little things that you really shouldn't have to pay for, but you have to bring the truck back up to Success Leasing's standards.
So would you think that would be the consequences, or do you think that would be basically a learning experience? Because people can take things differently. Oh, Prime screwed me. Do you really think Prime screwed you?
No, I screwed myself.
Oh,
I really do.
So big words. People will say, oh, the company screwed me. He just said it, y'all. He said, I screwed myself.
Yep, I sure as heck
That's
did.
the whole card cold facts. That's like a whole card cold case of cold beer. He screwed himself by not knowing the industry, by not having a full understanding of how freight lanes work, how loads work, how to trip plan. I mean, even though you get an understanding of trip planning, you get an understanding of it, but you don't really how to apply it when you're brand new. You don't know. Then on top of that, managing a business. This truck is your business. If you're putting your fuel in on Wednesday before you get your load, you're taking all that money that's going in your pocket. You're like, oh, I got $2,352 that's coming to me. And then you fill your tank up. It's $500. Now you just took half of your check, put it in the gas tank, and cut yourself short.
Yes, sir.
So, in a nutshell, guys, 6 months, go company, get an understanding of how freight lanes work, talk to your other local brothers out here that are driving, leasing trucks, and they can all give you their perspective on how to run a trucking business. Your week starts on Wednesday, it ends on Wednesday. That's close of business. Everything you do in between there is what you're being charged for. Fixed costs, variable costs. That's what it is, guys. He's giving you the hardcore facts. Hardcore truth. Confessions of an ex-flatbed driver. Now, he's over here on the reefer side, and he feels 150% better. Why? Because he's starting over. Yes, he's still having to pay that debt back. That debt does not go anywhere. But that's the consequences of making a decision swiftly. If you make a decision non-swiftly, and you make a decision to understand, you'll be able to have a lot more money, and you'll be able to save yourself thousands as opposed to losing thousands and then having to get hit with a bill or negative for $1,400 where you're having to climb out of the hole. So I'm gonna say thank you to Wayne letting us know the hardcore facts about where you screwed the pooch, and it sucks. It doesn't feel good. Mama at home ain't happy. She calling, what's this? This supposed to be money. Like, what the hell is this? Son is like, Daddy, when Daddy come home? I'll be out. I'm coming home. It's all hard. But you know what? At the end of the day, once you get into the right system, you get the exact knowledge of what you need to do to be out here, to be able to run this blacktop. Bruh, it becomes so much easier. You see commas in your check, money in the bank, mama's happy, kids happy, dogs happy, family's happy. So, thanks, Dwayne. Appreciate it, man.
No problem.
All right, YouTube. So, that was Dwayne, right? He's giving you the hardcore facts of, like, what people have been saying to him, why they not making no bread, why they're not making no money. You know, it's, when you go through hard knocks, it sucks. But hey, you gotta win some, you gotta lose some. You know, it's not always butterflies and rainbows out here. Some days it's gonna suck ass. Some days it's gonna be woohoo. But it is what it is, guys. And like I've been telling Dwayne, consistently trying to give him the little giblets that I was taught and that I was given by, previous truckers out here, Trucker Brown, Lil Sean Parks, all of those guys. Your fuel is the biggest key of what you're gonna see in your money. You gotta optimize and manage your fuel. You gotta optimize and manage your time. sitting at the truck stop with your door open, not closed, and your foot not down, you're not gonna make a whole lot of money. But if you manage your time, get your shippers and receivers early, try to get unloaded early, have good communication with your dispatcher, let him know what's going down on your truck, he can get you down the road to the next load. But if you make the wrong decisions, you start complaining, you start whining, you start not making no money. Why are you not making no money? A lot of times it's not Prime, it's you. Blame yourself before you blame Prime. Prime's been around for a long time. They got something right. A lot of their drivers is making bread. I know a bunch of drivers is making cake in their pocket. Gotten Mustangs and flying over here going to Vegas. They making bread. They ain't whining, and they've been at Prime for 20, 30 years, 3 million miles. They're making bread. So you really just got to check yourself. See what's going on with yourself. See what your business model's doing. See where you're spending your fuel, where you're spending your time, where you're spending your money. Then have that conversation with your dispatcher. Tell him what you want to do, how you want to do it, where you want to go, type of money you want to be made. That's what you got to do, guys. So do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the like button. Subscribe button. Share button. Do all of that so we can help other drivers out here get to that bag. Be able to do the things that they want to do with their family. Make sure that they have money in their pocket, because that's why we're out here, trying to make sure people understand what's going on so they can get the most out of their time. Because you know, at the end of the day, we on this truck a lot. And when you go home, you don't want to think nothing about this truck. You want to be able to relax. I know me, I want to be on a beach with the wife on the lap, thick as she is. I don't want to think about nothing on this truck. Just that. In the water, hang out with my dog, my kids. That's what I want to do. You know, go on vacations. But I got to come out here first and make sure I'm out here getting it right. So, remember, be blessed, less stressed. Keep the left door closed. Closed. Right foot down. Only when it's safe, guys. And like I always say, guys, I'll see you in the black. Safe trucking.